Another week, another embarrassing game out of our Ball State Cardinals. Big loss, 63-7 to the James Madison University Dukes. We're going to get all into it here on this episode of Ball State of the Union. All right, it is Saturday, September 28th, evening, about 9:30 p.m. Coming off another embarrassing loss for our Ball State Cardinals, falling at James Madison University, 63-7. While the loss itself is not necessarily anything that has caught anybody off guard here, it's just necessarily the manner in which these losses are happening. We're kind of stacking up embarrassing losses here. 3 weeks in a row now. You go back, look back 3 weeks. What was it? 62-0 at Miami, which great team. So you kind of just try and brush it off your back. Last week, lose a game that they had no business in losing at Central Michigan, going up by 4 with about 50 seconds left and finding somehow a way to lose in regulation, letting them just run down the field and score a touchdown. And that's all you had to stop them from doing. And then this game today, James Madison, again, this is no shot at James Madison, great program. They're an up-and-coming team. But to lose this bad is just very eye-opening. The spread in this game was 21 points, and you come out and you lay this big of an egg, especially after last week, which was such a heartbreaking defeat, and you find a way to do this. It's just, I'm at a loss. I mean, I have words, obviously, because I'm going to be talking here for, hopefully the next 15, 20 minutes, but I'm at a loss for words at the state of the program, the state of the athletic department, and kind of how we've got here. So, we'll kind of look back a little bit here quickly at the game. Obviously, getting blown out this bad, there's really not a ton that you really have to focus on. But, you look at it here, 63-7. It was 22-7. And honestly, at the start of the game, Ball State, was hanging in there at the beginning. They had a bad interception that, just kind of bounced off some hands at the start of the game that would have made it, theoretically 7-7. Goes the other way, and there's really, no looking back ever since then. No sense in really getting into any of the individual stats here. I feel bad for guys right now, like Braden Sloan, like Tanner Koziel. These are guys that, are producing even in these scenarios where we are not really being competitive at all, but they are, going out there. And I'm not saying this is not for a lack of effort. The whole entire team is trying. I think it's, a matter of talent over effort. But this is not a shot on anyone's effort on this team. I think they are trying, but I think the talent is just not there for the most part on the team overall as a team standpoint. There are some individual people who have talent on both sides of the ball, but as a team overall, the talent is just not there. And it's very obvious, and there's really no argument against it to kind of show that. So, start of the game, Caden Samanza seemed a little off. He kind of was missing guys, and that first interception, he kind of missed him, on the backside, and that's kind of how the interception came about. And he had another kind of near miss, but ended up with 3 interceptions in the game. We're just not going to be able to win games with that. And that's, again, I'm not saying it's not it's just maybe potentially a talent thing overall. When we're playing teams like James Madison, we're playing teams in the upper echelon of the MAC, upper echelon of the group of 5, where we want to be. We're clearly not there. We're not even close. Lots of sacks. That was a little surprising. Honestly, this is a pretty experienced offensive line, and they usually are able to kind of give our quarterbacks time. We're able to run the ball well when we have a chance to do so. The problem is we're always down by a lot, so we're not having that opportunity to run the ball more where we want to. So that's kind of taking a little bit of that run blocking away that they have in their back pocket. So, but again, lots of sacks. Let's kind of see how I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even watch the second half of the game. I had other stuff to do. It was so far out of reach at that point that it wasn't even worth my time. 5 sacks. So actually, in the second half, they didn't give up any extra sacks. I believe they ended the first half with 5. So, yeah, On the defense side of the ball, though, we can't stop anybody. We're not going to be able to stop anybody all year. Our best bet probably to do that is probably in these next 2 weeks with Western Michigan and Kent State. But yeah, we can't stop anybody on defense. And so pretty much we're going to have to score every single drive to be in games. And you saw that today. We went for it on fourth down a lot. Even this, I have a note here. We went for it on 4th and 20. And when we did that, it was on the plus side of the field. I thought it was going to be one of those patented, Mike New going to be doing the quarterback like pooch punt that he did with Drew Plitt a few years ago. But no, we actually went for it on 4th and 20, and we didn't even get a throw off. So yeah, this is a really disheartening game overall. Again, it's 62-7. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to say about it. There's really not a ton to add that hasn't already been added. We can look at the team stats a little bit here as well, just to see offensively, and defensively what we gave up. So 500 yards of offense for James Madison. Again, we're not going to beat anybody doing that. And, less than 300 yards of offense in this day and age in college football is probably going to be tough to win. Obviously, if you only score 7 points, it's not really going to get done. So, no good. No good. I don't know how anybody goes into today's game and comes away with anything, really, really positive. There's really nothing to take away positive from today's game. And then you look at James Madison, they were a team 2 years ago who was an FCS team, and they've moved up and they've been wildly successful. Heck, they kept touting today how they had a sellout for Parents Weekend. And that's something obviously you can't really dream about as a Ball State fan. Those sellouts are so incredibly hard to come by, and they've, James Madison has really taken the bull by the horns. It's really something that we should be striving to do, is kind of modeling, the success that they're having, which obviously is easier said than done, but that's something. Obviously it can happen. These group of 5 teams can sell out stadiums. James Madison's doing it. They said, I think all but 2 of their games for the rest of the year are already sold out. Ball State administrators, athletic department, these are problems that we've had for decades at the school. And, we can't really get any closer to solving other than just winning games, and making sure that happens. So, that's kind of another frustrating thing to see is they've had such success, on the field and off the field in just a short amount of time. And, we've been a Division I, FBS team for decades now. And, we're still just kind of, spinning our tires in the mud. Like, when are we going to figure out how to make a change? I would love to know. If anyone in the athletic department hears this, I would love for you to reach out and let me know what we are planning on doing on, getting higher attendance, getting this NIL fund up, because I hear nothing about it ever. I don't think we're taking it seriously at all. Myself personally, I was a student manager for the football team. So I'm technically, by their regards, a football alumni. I never hear anything from the football program about donations or this or that for the NIL program. Never hear anything. I was actually on the men's volleyball team as well. So I was a student athlete at Ball State on the men's volleyball team. Never hear anything from them. As an alumni, I never hear anything from them. I never hear anything ever about these NIL funds, and other schools out there are crushing the NIL game. Even places in the group of 5, they're being competitive and at least having deals in place with people to get these players in. They're taking it seriously. They understand where the landscape of college football is going. And it seems like we're just stuck in a different decade. We're going to get left behind. At some point, there's going to be something that happens, and there's going to be a break where certain teams are going to go one way and certain teams are going to go the other way. And at this point, we're going to be one that goes down, because we are just so stuck in the last millennium of how college sports are running that it's really inexcusable. I don't know what you guys need to do to get this ball rolling. I don't know if we need a regime change in the athletic department. I don't know if we need a coaching staff. I don't know what it is, but what we've seen these last 3 weeks in what should have been a make or break really season for the football program is unacceptable. 62-0. Again, granted, it's at Miami, at a team who's in the top 10. Does anybody expect us to really win that game? No, absolutely not. I'm not saying that. Obviously, would it be nice to find a way to win? Absolutely. That's what being, a Ball State type fan, that's what it's all about. Finding those underdog wins that you can get. Those are the best. Those everyone remembers. Everyone remembers those 2 wins or 3 wins against Indiana, that the win at Virginia. People remember those types of games because those are the games you're never supposed to win. But we're not even remotely close to being competitive. And then we blow the game the next week at Central Michigan. Okay. And then this is what we come out with today, 63-7. Again, against a great James Madison team. I'm not saying that they're not a very good team, but a terrible, terrible execution on every aspect. Every aspect was horrible. It's tough. It's tough. Consistency is great. And, having a voice that, everyone can hear and can get behind is a great thing. But at some point, you got to pull off the Band-Aid and realize it's not going to work. And we've kind of been down this road for a while now. And I think there's some changes coming. And anybody who's looking at the state of the program, really paying attention, should, really be seeing that. I'm asking myself, like right now, I have some notes. If you see what we see on the field, what's being offered behind the scenes, I'm asking myself, why would anyone come play football at Ball State right now? Why would we do that? Why would someone come? Why would a solid player coming out of high school who has options and has places that he can choose to go here or go there, or whatever, why would they come to Ball State? Aside from, their parents went to school there, basically. There is no redeeming qualities right now with this football program and this athletic department as a whole in terms of competing with other like universities on the field and in the name, image, and likeness game, which basically is just pay for play at this point. So if anyone in the athletic department has any updates on this NIL, I would love to hear it, because I don't ever see anything. I don't ever hear anything from any of the organizations or the programs within the university that I was a part of. And there's really nothing on the website or any social media about what's happening or what you're trying to accomplish. And just doing nothing is not going to work. So, yeah, it's a really disappointing day. Again, going into today, I did not by any means think we're going to win this game. JMU is a great team. We are not. I don't think it's shocked anybody. But losing 63-7 at James Madison is inexcusable. Not great. So that's kind of my recap as best I can of today's game. Again, I didn't even watch the second half of the game because it wasn't even worth my time. But I do have a few comments from some fans around the country. Again, I opened up our phone lines. Let me get you that phone number here real quick in case you ever decide you want to call in. Because I want this to be a place where people can come and talk about Ball State sports, because there's really not a fan-centric like video platform out there that's doing this, to my knowledge. If there is, then I apologize. I just haven't seen it. It's everything that is out there is basically done through to the university directly. And so that can be kind of, a skewed, image in their behalf, which is fine. But, when Ball State does great things, and I'm going to say that they're doing great things, when they do bad things, I'm going to say when they're going to do bad things. I think there's more people out there who care about this, than it may seem. And so I want people to have a place where they can come in, and let their voice be heard. So if you want to call or text into the show ever, I'm going to do shows I'm going to try and do them on like Wednesday or Thursday, kind of like a weekly update, and then a post-game show for the football games. And then, we'll see about basketball and other things like that. But the phone number, Ball State of the Union fan voicemail line or text, whichever you prefer, is 317-426-6341. That's 317-426-6341. And so we're going to go ahead and go into a couple of those. I think we have 3 texts and 2 voicemails now to get in. So let's add the first one up here. Let's first one say, what the hell just happened? What is this life I live? That is a great question, actually. Yeah, I can't explain what just happened. Again, like we kind of went into a little bit going in. After the last 2 weeks, you would kind of expect a little more urgency. And if there was urgency put in place there, then it's just a talent deficiency that we have, and there's really nothing we can do about that. So, I don't know. I don't know what the hell that what just was. So, okay. So we have a voicemail here from a friend of the program named Jeremy. So let's put.
First of all, I gotta say go Cardinals, but second of all, I don't know how much more embarrassing it can get. JMU 63-7, flat out embarrassing, especially after coming out and losing to Central Michigan in the way that we did, going up 4 with under a minute and then allowing them to just score and lose by 3 right after a 62-0 loss to Miami. I think that we need to move on from Mike New. I think that we've got to get somebody in there with some fire. I understand that he was at Ball State, played quarterback in the 90s, but I think we just need to move on. This is ridiculous. He's been here for 8 years, 9 years, and I just can't take it anymore. We're not going out there with any competitive. We're not being competitive in the games that we should be. Somewhat, showing that we're not showing any kind of attitude or that we even want to be there. And then also in the MAC, it's just flat out embarrassing. We don't even hold a candle in half those games either. So I'm so sick of it. Thanks.
All right, thanks for calling in, Jeremy. Yeah, he made a good point in there. We're really not being competitive right now, and I can understand. I'm not expecting us to win every game, but I'm expecting them to compete. We're in year 8 or 9 of a coaching regime. There's no excuse to be getting blown out like this at this point. So I will say. It is still only week 4. We've only played one conference game, so I'm not necessarily wanting to go ahead and make some big crazy move tomorrow. But we gotta have something has to turn around quickly, or else a big move is coming. I fear, because we just can't have it. It's not getting done. And so again, it's week 4. We've only had one conference game, so you're theoretically still pretty alive for everything. So it'd be kind of early to kind of make any crazy move. But yeah, something's gonna change drastically. So, what is our next text we have here? Let me put it on the big screen here. So, do you think the Help Stop Violence guy watched this game today? Yeah. So if I don't know. Again, I live pretty far away now, so I don't know if this still happens. But outside of the library, usually, once or twice a year, there's a guy who's out there, and he is handing out little flyers, basically, and he keeps saying, "Help stop violence, help stop violence," and he's handing them out, and it has mutilated pictures of dogs or cats or whatever on there. So did he watch the game today? Well, if he did, he would probably be out campaigning to stop the violence, because that was a violent display by James Madison against Ball State today. So if Help Stop Violence guy was watching today, he probably didn't like it very much, and he's probably telling people to stop violence. And what? I agree with him in this instance. I want to stop violence as well. I wanted to stop the violence that JMU was putting against Ball State. I did not like that very much. So we have another voicemail here from a listener named Adam. So let's go ahead and hear what Adam has to say.
Hello, I am Adam. I am very disappointed in this roster we have here. We have a 5'8" quarterback that can't see above the offensive line, and I think our coaching staff is kind of subpar. We need to reassess in the off season, maybe even right now. Let's not wait till the off season. Let's figure this out right now, and let's turn the program in the right direction. We're not chirping, we're squirting, and I think we should be doing a lot more chirping than we are right now, and it's disappointing. As a friend of an alumni, I never went to Ball State, but my buddy did, and I'm disappointed in how he's feeling right now. I think he could be more up, more he could have more energy throughout the day, but with Ball State's play, he's just not really feeling it. And as a friend of his, I'm disappointed in kind of how he's feeling right now. I just wish he would be a little more uppity, So, chirp, chirp. God bless. Hey, do it next week, guys. All right, bye.
Yeah. First of all, Adam, yes, chirp, chirp. I'm with you there on that one. But yeah, it's having a negative impact on us fans. It sucks. It's no fun. It's no fun watching everyone get excited for college football games on the weekend, and you just know pain is coming your way every Saturday and or Tuesday or Wednesday throughout the year, depending on the time of the year it is. Again, I'll kind of echo what I said earlier. It is week 4. I mean, these have been 3 really bad losses in a row, don't get me wrong, but it still is only week 4. So I don't know that go ahead and making a change or doing anything drastic right now is going to accomplish really much. It usually doesn't, especially in college football. I don't really know what it's going to do, but yeah, there's still a lot of season left, especially since they've only played 1 MAC game. So, could they turn it around? And kind of do some damage in the MAC. Absolutely. There's nothing stopping them from doing that except for themselves. But, what you've seen so far, is that really going to happen? Probably not. So, yeah, it's all in the coaches and the players' hands at this point. They still have plenty of season left ahead of them, but they're going to need a much, much, much better results than what they're having right now. So we have one more text that's come in. Let's add this on the screen as well and see what we got here. So what to say? I think we got a troll one here. So all kinds of people lose to FCS schools. It's no thing. Well, they're not an FCS school anymore. They used to be. They're actually quite a good FBS team now. And Ball State is only 10 to 20 million in NIL a year away from being James Madison. Now, I don't think James Madison has quite that much money a year that they spend on the football team. Maybe they do, but I don't think they do. But I know for a fact, whatever amount they do have, Ball State is way behind them. Because, again, as I was talking about earlier, we have virtually zero effort that is, displayed and showed to the fans, alumni, of what NIL is going on. I have no idea what their plan is or how they're executing it or what they're, where you would even go if you wanted to donate to the NIL fund. Is it just the Cardinal Varsity Club? I don't know. I do donate to the Cardinal Varsity Club from time to time. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But again, I'm an alumni of the football program as a student manager. So, periodically I'll get some, information in the mail to come to a golf outing or this, that, or the other, yada, yada, whatever that is. But never hear anything about donating to the NIL fund. I was on the men's volleyball team. Sorry, I can't get my fingers right here. I was on the men's volleyball team. Never hear anything from them. And I'm an alumni of the school. Never hear anything from them. So if there is some effort out there being made on the NIL front, it is really poor, and whoever's in charge of it needs to reevaluate what they're doing because it's not getting out and people have no idea what you're doing. So if we're ever going to be competitive in this day and age in college football, which it's ever changing, so you want to make sure you're competitive so you don't get left behind, because at some point people could start getting left behind and you don't want to be one of them. We need to make drastic changes now. Not in a week, not in a month, not next year, now. So figure it out. And whoever is in charge of it, reach out to me. I will help. I have no idea how to do it or what to do, but I will try. I'm passionate about Ball State football, and I will help you guys try and figure it out and get this thing rolling in the right direction, because right now there's no direction. So I don't want to be too negative. I don't like doing that, but I don't know how you see what happened today and the state of the program it is currently, and you can't be negative. I would love to be positive. I love to have got on here and been grinning ear to ear about a nice win or even a nice competitive effort. Again, the spread was 21 points. That's 3 touchdowns. All we had to do to be technically competitive today was be within 3 touchdowns, and we lost 60-7. So next week, home game against Western Michigan. Must win. I don't know. We might very well be the worst team in college football. we might find out in 2 weeks who really is the worst team in college football when we play Kent State. But if we want to avoid that conversation, then next week at home, I believe it's at home. If it's not, then I apologize. Must win against Western Michigan. So thank you for all of you who have listened. If you are subscribing, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to Instagram, to my my Twitter, Facebook, everywhere you can find us. And if you called or text in, thank you very much. I would love to have a handful of calls and text every show to go over on in the midweek and after the games. I think it's fun hearing from people. Love it if it was positive stuff. That would be great. But as the time goes on, we'll probably have some prompts and and some discussion topics. Maybe I'll send out to people to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit. But anyways, if you ever do want to get involved with that, again, that the phone number is 317-426-6341. So thank you guys again for listening. I'm going to go ahead and finish this video now, and I will talk to you all in a few days, and we'll see how we're feeling then. So thank you. I know it stinks. Chirp as much as you can, but we'll get through it.